Let me ask you something. How much of your day are you actually in control of? You wake up, check your phone, you scroll, you watch a few reels, maybe you play a game, maybe you place a bet because you think you can make some quick money, maybe you smoke when you're stressed, maybe you spend hours watching things you know you probably shouldn't be watching. And then suddenly, it's night. You haven't done anything you actually wanted to do, and you tell yourself, tomorrow I'll fix it. But tomorrow comes, and you do the same thing again. I'm not saying this because I think I'm better than you. I'm saying this because I've seen how easily these things can become a part of someone's life. And the scary part is, most people don't realize they're losing control until they've already lost a lot. Let's start with gambling. At first, it doesn't feel dangerous. You put a small amount of money in.
I'll
Maybe you
recover.
win. And that's the moment your brain gets hooked. You start thinking, maybe I can actually make money from this. Then you lose, and instead of stopping, you think, I'll recover
I'll
it. So
recover
you
it.
bet again, you lose again. Now you're angry. You increase the amount, and suddenly you're not gambling for fun anymore. You're gambling because you want your money back. That's where things become dangerous. Because the money you already lost is gone, but your brain keeps telling you that the next bet can bring it back. It can't. And even if you win sometimes, that doesn't mean you've won. Because that occasional win is exactly what keeps the cycle going. You start hiding it from your family. You start borrowing money. You start taking loans. You start lying. And something that started with a few hundred rupees can eventually become a serious problem. So if you're gambling right now and you're thinking, I can control it, ask yourself one simple question. If you really control it, can you stop completely? Not for 2 days, not until your next paycheck, completely. If the answer is no, take that seriously. And please don't try to recover your losses by gambling more. That's how people lose even more. Now let's talk about lust. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that having sexual feelings is wrong, it's normal, you're human. The problem starts when you can't control what you're consuming. You open your phone for 5 minutes and suddenly an hour is gone. You keep going back even though you told yourself you wouldn't. You start needing more stimulation, your concentration gets worse, real life starts feeling boring compared to what you're constantly consuming on a screen, and slowly you can start training your brain to want instant pleasure all the time. That's the real problem. Not desire, lack of control, because if you can't control where your attention goes, someone else will. And the internet knows exactly how to keep you watching. So don't hate yourself because you have desires. Learn to control them. Put your phone away. Stop following accounts that constantly trigger you. Don't stay alone with your phone for hours when you already know where it leads. And most importantly, build a life that is actually worth paying attention to. Because when you're working towards something meaningful, you don't need to constantly escape reality. Then there's smoking. A lot of people start because of friends. Just try one, then it becomes occasional, then it's every day. Then you realize you're buying cigarettes without even thinking about it, and that's how many habits work. You don't decide one morning, I'm going to become addicted. You just repeat something small until it becomes normal. Maybe you smoke when you're stressed, maybe when you're with friends, maybe after eating. Eventually, your brain connects certain situations with smoking. And now, it doesn't feel like a choice anymore. It feels like something you need. That's why you shouldn't wait until the habit becomes serious before taking it seriously. If you haven't started, don't. If you've already started, don't be ashamed to get help quitting. And if you've tried to quit before and failed, try again. Failure doesn't mean you can't quit. It means you haven't found a way that works for you yet. But honestly, there's another addiction that I think young people underestimate even more: wasting time, because nobody tells you that you're addicted to wasting time. Nobody says, bro, you're addicted to scrolling. They just say everyone does it. And that's exactly why it's dangerous. You wake up, you check Instagram, you watch YouTube shorts, then another video, then another. You tell yourself, just 5 minutes. 40 minutes later, you're still there. And the worst part? You don't even remember what you watched. Do that every day for a year. Think about how much time you've given away. And imagine what you could have done with those hours. You could have learned a skill, gotten fit, studied, built something, started a business, made videos, learned English, learned coding, prepared for an exam, spent time with your parents, or simply sat quietly and figured out what you actually want from your life. Instead, we consume. Someone else makes the video, someone else makes the money, someone else builds the company, someone else develops the skill, and we sit there watching. This is where all four of these things connect: gambling, lust, smoking, scrolling. They all give you something immediately: excitement, pleasure, relief, entertainment. But your future doesn't work like that. Your future needs patience. You study today, and the result may come months later. You exercise today, and your body changes slowly. You learn a skill, and nobody may notice for a long time. You build a channel, and your first videos may get almost no views. That's why people choose the easy things. The reward comes immediately, but the cost comes later. And the cost is usually much bigger than you expected. You lose money, you lose time, you lose focus, you lose confidence. Sometimes you lose relationships, and eventually you start wondering, what happened to me? Nothing happened overnight. It happened one small decision at a time, but here's the good news. The same thing works in the opposite direction. Your life can change one small decision at a time too. You don't have to become a completely different person tomorrow. Just start taking back control. Delete the betting apps. Don't chase your losses. Block the accounts that constantly trigger you. Put your phone away when you're working. If you're smoking, start working toward quitting. Go outside, exercise, study, talk to someone you trust, learn something, build something. And if you've become seriously dependent on gambling, nicotine, or sexual content and you can't stop on your own, don't treat that as a weakness. Get professional help. You don't have to fight everything alone. And please remember this: your 20s are not something you get back. Your energy won't always be the same. Your time won't always be this flexible. Your parents won't always be around in the same way. Your opportunities won't always look the same. So don't spend your best years trying to escape your life. Build a life you actually want to live. You don't need to become perfect. You don't need to delete every app. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. and become a completely different person. Just stop giving away control. One day at a time, one decision at a time, because nobody is coming to save your time. Nobody is going to return the money you lost. Nobody can build your future for you. At some point, you have to decide that enough is enough. Put the phone down, walk away from the bed, throw away the cigarette, control your desires, and go do something that your future self will thank you for. Because your youth is not a rehearsal. This is your life. Don't waste it.